Hey, this is Pete with BananaHobby.com. In the next few minutes, I'm going to run you through what is called a bind process. Many of the radios that come with our aircrafts and our products nowadays come on what's called 2.4 gigahertz. In the event that you need to rebind your transmitter to your receiver, these are the steps to take in order to rebind your transmitter and receiver. What that means is getting your transmitter to read the signal coming from your receiver so that your product communicates together. We have various transmitters laid out here from all of our different products. So what I'm going to do is run each individual 2.4 gigahertz transmitter and its bind process in a closer view for you guys, so you guys can use this video as a tutorial on how to rebind your 2.4 radios. Most of these will be made by either Blitz RC Works, Topfire, or Arctech. And keep in mind, when you guys get your receivers inside the aircrafts, the antennas are usually pretty short. Some of them are extremely short, 1.5 inches. That's normal. They are not on FM anymore, so there's no long antenna. They are very short. They're self-contained, so they're inside the aircraft. The antenna doesn't need to be outside or anything like that. They can come with a little antenna as an inch long here, or some, like the Topfire, will come with one receiver with a little bit longer antenna and then a satellite receiver that's got another antenna on it. Different variations of these radios have different receivers, so all of them function the same. The bind process will be different, so I'm going to run you guys through what these bind processes are. Okay, now this is your bind process for the Topfire system, and this is what the Topfire system looks like. The Topfire radio control 2.4 system that's coming with a lot of our aircrafts will either be in a 5-channel, a 4 or 5-channel, or 6-channel function as well. So that doesn't apply here. So basically, the bind process for either the 4, 5, or 6 channel are exactly the same. Once again, this is the bind process for the Topfire transmitter, and your transmitter should look like this. All right, and this is the receiver that is included with your Topfire. You got the main receiver, which looks like that with a little gray antenna here, and then you got your satellite receiver, which is this piece here that is included and that's connected as well. It may or may not come in 2 pieces. Some of the Topfires came with a 1-piece receiver, some of them came with a 2. It doesn't matter about that at all. The range and everything and the functionality are exactly the same. Take note right here on the Topfire receiver, the farthest top port has a little arrow, a little triangular arrow on it. That is your bind port, okay? So keep that in mind there. We're going to be using that for the bind process. Bind processes are extremely fast, extremely easy. Within a couple of minutes, within a minute or so, you guys are back in the air flying and you guys are ready to go. All right, within this system here, what's included is this piece here, and it's called a bind plug. And this is what the bind plug looks like, okay? It's a little loopy wire thing with a little plug on it. Very simple bind process here. What we're going to do now is always make sure your whole system right now is off. Transmitter's off, the aircraft is unplugged. What I have laid out here on the calendar here for you is a mock setup of what the internals are in an aircraft, so you can visibly see what it's doing once the system has been rebinded. Okay, so what we're going to do now is always remember your speed control, your ESC powering your motors plugged into channel number 3 on the Topfire receiver. Okay, so that's plugged into channel number 3. Chances are it's already plugged in once you guys already get it. But in the event that it's not, remember to plug that into channel number 3. So I'm going to plug into a couple of servos here just so you guys get a visual idea. Once it's binded, you can see the servos moving and everything. Okay, right now, everything's unplugged. Your airplane's unplugged. The transmitter's off and everything. Always remember this. Before you start your bind process on anything you do, anytime you power on an aircraft, for that matter, make sure your throttle stick right here, the one that doesn't bounce back, make sure your throttle stick is always in the down lowest position and the trim right next to it is down in the lowest position. That way, once it's binded, the propeller or the jet or something like that is not going to turn on you and then eventually, maybe take off on you by itself. So make sure those two are down in the lowest position and everything is off. Okay, so now what we're going to do here is very simple. You're going to take your bind plug right here, And you are going to plug your bind plug with the copper terminals facing up. Down doesn't really matter. I usually always keep it facing up because all the rest of the servo wires are facing up as well. We're going to plug the bind plug directly into the port, which is the up highest top port on the Topfire receiver here, the 2.4 gigahertz receiver. That's got the little arrow on it. So now we got the little bind plug plugged into there, into the arrow in the top port, and it's ready to go. What we do now is, transmitter's still off right now, okay? Keep that in mind. Transmitter is still off. We're going to go ahead and plug the LiPo into the aircraft. And what happens now is, you will notice the LEDs on the receiver, which is one on the satellite and the one internally on the main receiver here, which is a little hard to see. I got some bright lights here. They both are blinking red right now. The LEDs on this receiver could come in red color, or it could be a green color, or it could be a blue color. The color doesn't matter. The color doesn't mean anything at all. But this particular system here actually blinks in red. So what we're going to do now is, that means that the aircraft is now in bind mode. And it is very, very simple now. On your Topfire transmitter here, you'll take note that on the reverse backside of it, there is a button right here. That button right there is the bind button, and you can press it and you can hear it physically indenting and then popping back out. What we're going to do now is very simple. Okay, you're going to use your left hand or your right hand, doesn't matter. Get your index finger in there, press that bind button. Simultaneously, while that button is pressed down, we're going to come back to the power button now and turn her on. So that button in the back is pressed in, and we're going to turn it on at the same time. Okay, we turn it on. The LED on the transmitter goes green, and you'll notice that the LED lights on the receiver here go solid red. They don't go dark. They don't turn off or anything. They go solid red. Once it goes solid red, you can go ahead and let go of this bind button. Just let it go, and you're ready to go. So now what we're going to do is, you're going to unplug the bind plug. Simple. That's it. Once you unplug it, the lights here are solid red, but still it doesn't read anything because you have to plug the system back in again. So now what we do is unplug your airplane, okay? Shut off your transmitter, okay? Transmitter is off. And now, all you got is turn your transmitter back on and plug it in, and she's ready to go. Okay, you plug it in, and you'll notice you hear an initiating beep coming from your speed control, coming from your motor as well. And the receiver, satellite receiver here, the LED is solid red, and the main receiver here, the LED is solid red. It's kind of hard to see. And you're ready to go. That's it. And I'll wiggle the sticks. You can see the servos moving here, and we can throttle up here, and we have motor movement. You can see the motor spinning as well. And that is your bind process for the Topfire system, and it could be either the 4-channel, the 5-channel, or the 6-channel. It doesn't matter. The Topfire system bind processes is this right here, and it is simple, and you're ready to go. And at this time, always keep in mind and remember to go ahead and unplug your aircraft first when you're done flying. Okay, so we're going to unplug the airplane and shut the transmitter off. And at that time, everything's set and ready to go for you guys to fly the next time again. Enjoy your flight time, and happy flying, guys. We'll see you guys on the web.